So the SH Figuarts Romance Dawn Luffy has been out for about a month or so now, and mine has been trapped in Ninnin's private warehouse waiting for Nami to release. That was completely my own fault, by the way. But both of them are showing up this week, so I am going to be doing a review for both. Nami's review will be out soon, so make sure you subscribe to stick around for that. But moving on to Luffy, you know, with the One Piece line returning, the first Luffy that they released was a very big miss with fans. A lot of people's was breaking and, you know, it just had all sorts of problems and really didn't live up to what, you know, was promised. And I think that this is now a well-needed release to really refresh the palette of One Piece fans and to let them know that SH Figuarts is very serious about this line. So, yeah, from what I've seen, that this figure looks really, really good, so I'm really excited to take a closer look at it. So starting off with the box, you've seen quite a lot of it already. It's, you know, your typical One Piece SH Figuarts style box. You've got the really nice like map and compass pattern going throughout the box with a few pictures of the figure on the front, side and back. And you've got your window at the front where you can see the figure and a few of its accessories alongside a lot of writing. So yeah, a really nice clean looking box overall. Let's get into the figure. So taking a quick look at the accessories, Luffy comes with 3 alternate faceplates alongside the smiling face he has on in the box, which are a open smiling face, a screaming face, and a face where he is eating some food. And then he also comes with his straw hat with a alternate head to peg that straw hat into. He also comes with 2 pairs of alternate hands alongside 2 separate hands. So we have 2 open pairs of hands. And then we have a pointing hand and also a hand to hold his accessory alongside the 2 fists he has on in the box. And then the special accessory for this figure is meat. A stick of meat, which obviously Luffy does eat quite a lot. So that goes really well with the alternate faceplate as well and looks absolutely fantastic. So taking Luffy out of the packaging and having a closer look at him, he looks absolutely perfect. In terms of a one-to-one recreation from anime to action figure form, I don't think they could have done much better. And, you know, starting off with the detail in the clothes, I think the creases that they put in his vest and in his shorts, the fur detail and sculpting, and even the paint on the buttons and the overall colour of everything is perfect. The sky blue shorts, the red shirt, the silver buttons, and the hat is the same as the other Luffy, and it was perfect on the other Luffy anyway. The hat was never a problem. So yeah, the sculpting on that is great as well. And then having a look at, you know, the sandals look absolutely fantastic, and they've done really well with the proportions as well with the bare arms. Obviously this Luffy doesn't have any sleeves, so I think they've done really well with that too. And yeah, I can't really fault the look of this figure, and it just looks absolutely fantastic. So getting into Luffy's articulation, starting off with the head can look up about that far, down about that far. You can do a side to side, and a really nice range of tilt. You've also got a neck joint there, which is going to move forward and back. So these two as one unit are going to give you a really nice range of motion in pretty much any direction. Then moving on to the torso, we've basically got a completely new body here, so a lot of new articulation to look at. The torso can go forward about that much. Can go back about that much. Then you've got upper torso swivel in pretty much any direction. You've got a waist swivel, which is really good. Very smooth as well out of the packaging. So not a lot of tightness, which obviously was a massive problem on the other Luffy and caused a lot of copies to break and stuff. So they have fixed that massively. Moving on to the arms, go out about that far. Then you've got this joint here, like the old Luffy, where the shoulder kind of hinges out. Then you can do a rotation once that hinges out, if I can just do that properly. You do want to be careful with this joint. It is very, very thin, but you can get a full rotation. If it is tight, you might want to just add a bit of oil, because as you can see, it is super thin and sort of prone to breaking if there is any pressure on the wrong direction. And then going to the elbows, we've got double jointed elbows, getting really nice amount of range. I think they've done a really good job on these arms. We've also got a bicep swivel, so they've done a really, really good job on these arms considering they are completely new. we have got the normal SH Figuarts, that's his feet, normal SH Figuarts pins for the wrists, which hinge up and down. So that'll get you a good range of motion there. Then moving on to the legs, which are similar to the old Luffy's, but with a few modifications. So can kick up about that far. Can kick back about that far. Can kick out, so you can get him doing the splits as well. Like a really far amount, actually. I think they've extended the range on these. Mine don't have a problem with popping out or anything. And then the modification that they've done to the shorts is that they've made the back piece a hinge, which hinges up and down. So you can now get more articulation out of his knees. So you can do way more than you were able to do on the old Luffy, which is a really, really good thing. Then these legs are on a ball joint inside, which are going to come forward and back. They are also going to turn. Mine are going to be slightly tight as it's just out of the packaging, but these do turn to kind of give you that rotation instead of a thigh rotation there. They've got it kind of in there. So if they are tight like mine, you might want to add some oil. I might do that after this video. But yeah, they do turn as well, and then they go up and down inside the shorts to give you a really, really nice range of motion there as well. And then moving down to the feet, I think they're the same feet as the other Luffy. So you've got kicking back about that much, kicking forward a really nice amount. You've got the toes with the sandal molded to the front part of the foot. So yeah, again, I really, really like the way they did this on the first one. So I'm happy they've kept that. Then you've also got ankle pivot and then a rotation as well. So yeah, a really, really nice amount of articulation, and this guy is going to get into some amazing poses, and you know, all the poses he does in the anime when he's fighting and whatnot. So yeah, this is really, really nice. So getting into comparisons, and for our first comparison, we have the new Romance Dawn Luffy next to the... I don't actually remember what the official name of this Luffy was actually called. So yeah, let's just call it Post Time Skip Luffy. So yeah, these two, they do look good next to each other, and you know, I think the look of this figure was never the problem. It was always the build quality, and when you handle this one compared to this one, you can really tell the difference in quality and how much time they've really taken with this one. But they do look really good next to each other, and I have seen people actually doing the kit bash of taking the top half of this body and popping it into the bottom half of this one. So you get a different look for Luffy there, which he also sports in the anime. So yeah, that's a really good idea, and I think both of these figures are quite cheap, so it is affordable to do that kit bash. It's not going to cost you a lot. So yeah, if you did want to do that instead of waiting for an official version of that look, then by all means do so. But yeah, these two do look great next to each other. A lot of similarities, but you know, obviously with it being the same character from different time periods, it is going to happen. So for our next comparison, we've got the Romance Dawn Luffy next to the post-time skip Zoro. Now, obviously these two, they do look good next to each other, but it doesn't really make any sense. Two different time periods. We are waiting for the Romance Dawn Zoro as well. That has gone up for pre-order and sold out. I believe we're looking at May 2025 for that release. So a long time away, but it does look really, really good. And it was a problem that this line was always going to have, where you've got two different time periods. So which one do you focus on? Obviously, when the line came out, the anime was still on, and they kind of focused on doing the designs from the arc that they were currently on then. So yeah, they kind of released loads of designs from that. So they released Luffy, Zoro, Sanji, Law, Kid, and now they're kind of going back to the pre-time skip of Romance Dawn in terms of this Luffy, Nami, we've got Zoro, and then they've showed the pictures of Shanks. So obviously we're waiting on Usopp and Sanji for that in terms to really complete it. But yeah, I think they've done this line in a very weird way, where they should have carried it out similar to the sort of Naruto line, where they did all the Shippuden characters, the main ones first, then they kind of went back to normal Naruto. But with this line, they're kind of jumping back and forward. And personally, I think that this should have been the first ever release for the new One Piece line. However, that wasn't the case, and I don't think it worked out the best for them, so hopefully they learned from their mistakes, but they are giving us really good quality figures like this Luffy now. So for our next comparison, we have the Romance Dawn Luffy next to the post-time skip Law. Now, I am going to be replacing Law's plastic cape with a the black soft goods coat that he wears when he first appears. So that'll be closer to this time period anyway. So these two look really nice together on the shelf. So for our final comparison, we have the Romance Dawn Luffy next to the Anime Heroes Chopper. Now, I do really like this chopper, and I think that the sizing is really good. However, it is a post-time skip design, and we are yet to get any version of an SH Figuarts chopper. And I imagine we might have one coming out next year, maybe on its own or even in a 2-pack. I suspect that now they started doing the smaller figures in terms of the Kid Dragon Ball ones, we probably will get Chopper on his own. So, yeah, they do look good next to each other, but again, it doesn't really make any sense. And for the comparison with the Romance Dawn Nami, you are going to have to wait for that review, unfortunately. But make sure to subscribe because I am going to have that out very soon. So getting into my final thoughts, and is it crazy to call this figure perfect? Because I actually think it might be. I can't really find a complaint or a problem with this figure, and I do go by a variety of aspects when reviewing and scoring a figure. This has really ticked every box for me, and, you know, if I start with the price is £32, very, very cheap. Some of the cheapest that SH Figuarts does. Getting into the accessories, really good accessories. Maybe one small nitpick is that they haven't put the hat strap in there to put the hat onto his back, which they have given with Gear 5, and they will be giving in a Luffy accessory pack, which also comes with some Gum attack accessories. So, yeah, a bit of a paywall there, but it doesn't really affect this figure for me too much. And, you know, the look of it, perfect. The articulation, basically perfect. They've taken the criticism from the other Luffy and made the improvements to this one. And for me, it is the best Luffy figure out there. And I do really hope going forward when they make another Luffy that they do keep this quality up. Because for me, I'm just going to score it right now. It's a 10 out of 10. It doesn't really have any problems. I couldn't really give you any problems, any nitpicks except for that hat strap thing. And even that's really small, and we will be getting that very soon anyway. So for me, it's a 10 out of 10, and one of my only 10 out of 10s on the channel, which tells you how good this figure truly is. And for any One Piece fan out there, I do recommend that you go and pick this up. It's not going to break the bank, and you get a great figure out of it as well. I do think that the One Piece line did really need a figure like this, a cheap figure that's going to get fans back in and invested after sort of the mess they've had over the past year and a half or so. So, yeah, I am really happy with this release, and I will try and leave a link down below to a UK either buy now or pre-order. So, yeah, thank you very much for watching this video. I did try a new style and a new format for this video, so please do leave any feedback you have for me down in the comments. It is all appreciated. And if you did like this video, don't forget to leave a like. Don't forget to subscribe. More reviews coming soon. Don't forget to check out my other socials. I am doing photography on Instagram and a lot of content on TikTok as well. So don't forget to check that out down below. Don't forget to share with all your family and friends. And I'll see you next time.